All right, y'all. I'm gonna make this very short and sweet. Top commenter of the day goes to Kayla. Kayla came in first. Sasha was second. Young Boy Jay was third. Nika was fourth, and Pierre was fifth. Okay. Um. he was- okay. Oh goodness me. I appreciate y'all coming in. I promise y'all, this will not be long. We're gonna make it very quick. We're gonna get in and get out. Okay. I have my live streaming on Facebook as well as streaming on Twitch today. I've been trying it out for the last couple of days and it's been doing okay. So that's what we're gonna keep on doing. Okay. Sir, ladies and gents, let's get into NXT, shall we? Okay. Um, NXT was a really good show. I'm not going to lie. Instead of starting off with a monologue of some kind, they decided to go with a match. Can you turn it down just a little bit? The match was Shawn Spears versus Dijak. Dijak and Shawn Spears put on a very good match with each other. Ultimately, Shawn Spears lost that match. There was some minor interference from Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy came in and took Shawn Spears' precious chair from ringside. And that's something that Shawn Spears covets. So that will come into play later on in the show. But Shawn Spears lost this match, even though he fought pretty hard against Dijak. And it was a very solid match between the two men. Ultimately, Shawn Spears fell to Dijak. Dijak would be seen later when Briggs had a match with Duke Hudson, which I'll get to that in a second. Um, let's talk about the girls because they gave the girls a lot of spotlight today. And there were two women's matches today that I can remember. And then there were two spotlights on the Stand and Deliver matchup between Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria. So let's get into Lola Vice and get her out the way. Shout out to Kenny Ken. If you can, be so kind as to like, share, and subscribe. All right. And if you want to donate to the channel, you definitely can. The Cash App is always available. I do not take food stamps. That is a lie. I don't know where Kitty got that from. But there's nothing that I could do with food stamps that belong to you. Okay. Nothing I can do with that. Nothing I want to do with that because that is illegal. And I ain't trying to get into no mess. So if you want to donate to the channel, you definitely can. Like I said, you can always become a member of the channel, which I will then start doing membership content. Once we hit at least 10 members, then I will start doing exclusive content for you, like going over books, which today Becky Lynch's book came out. I have it on Audible. I'm going to listen to it and I'll do a members only video for that book if you want to. I'm also going to do Rhonda's book when it comes out. So there's a lot of stuff coming to the membership that you guys can become a part of. You just gotta join it. It's only $2.99 for the higher tier. It's only 99 cents for the smallest tier. That's $1 a month. So at best, you would be spending what, $12 a month on little old me. $1 would help me keep my channel going, which I would appreciate it one way or another. Okay, so that's the T. Okay. Now, for those of you on Facebook, I am over here on YouTube streaming live to Facebook. You guys can always come over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel and become a member to get the exclusive lives and the exclusive content. Because I'm only going to do that for people who deserve to see it. Okay. And I have some ideas for my exclusive content. So keep on watching. Okay. With all that being said, let's get into the show when it comes to NXT. Lola Vice issued a challenge on her Instagram and Twitter, I believe it was, asking for an opponent to dare challenge her for whatever reason. I was very confused by the open challenge because what? But she issued it and she was like, if anybody wants to get in any of this Latino heat. And I'm like, girl, that flame ain't been hot in a while. You need to go put that hot pocket in some cool water, okay? Anyways, because if you on fire, The gynecologist said there's something wrong with that. You're not supposed to be that hot. Just telling you what the gyno said. Anyway, her challenge was answered by none other than one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Natalia. Okay, or she calls herself what she calls herself the best. The best of all time. Best of all time. So she calls herself the boat. I don't like that. That make her sound like she got a big back and she don't. So I'm gonna call her a goat because Natalia is one of the greatest of all time. I would never take that moniker from that woman. As much as she get on my damn nerves, I will never take that moniker from her. She is one of the greatest and most skilled technical wrestlers that is in wrestling, period. Not just WWE, but period. Okay. So Natalia came out and said basically she wanted to hush her ass up because she was like, "You a little too cocky, sis. You got a little too much chip. You got too much dip on your chip, basically. And I need you to be humbled. And since you don't know how to, have no humility, I'm gonna teach you how to get some." So they had a nice little match. I ain't gonna lie, Lola kept up with her. You know what I'm saying? They had their moments. It was a little wonky in the beginning, like they ain't want to fight each other. And I don't like that. I feel like if you're gonna go out there and do all of that, then you need to go full in. You know what I'm saying? Go full method acting on me. Don't half step it. Don't pretend like you don't want to fight. Oh, I don't want to hurt her. Nah, because at the end of the day, it's what the fans see visually, if it's good or not. And if all you care about is whether you hurting your opponent or not, y'all know how to do shit so it's not abusive. Y'all know how to do shit so you're not hurting nobody. So as far as I'm concerned, girl, go out there and fight like it's your last fight. And since you got MMA training, Lola, your ass should have been out there throwing punches. You know how to throw them so they don't hurt, girl. Anyways, in the beginning, it was a little wonky. It was a little weird. It didn't have no real substance to it. It wasn't teethy enough for me. Didn't have enough for me to sink my teeth into. But then, as the girls progressed in the match, I guess they got used to each other, so they were able to continue the battle, and it was a pretty decent fight. Now, Carmen came out there and that kind of gave Lola a bit of a distraction, which allowed Natalia to beat her on a deep roll up. Natalia had her whole face in that lady's cooching ass. Okay. So I hope it was washed and it was clean. Okay. That's all I can say. Cause sometimes in that hot Florida weather, that hot pocket get the drainage. That moisture is not always in the best of sense. Let's put it that way. That's wild. Woo! Especially when you got a little extra Latina heat in there. Woo, Jesus. I'm sorry, that was funny. Now, before Lola brought her tired ass out there, Thea had a match with, I don't know this bitch name from Adam. All I know is what is it? Is it Nyx? Something Nyx. Something Nyx. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's her name? I think so. Oh, okay. That influencer looking bitch, because she looked like a carbon copy of the influencers that I be seeing. Bloated lips, no talent, just weird. She's a soccer player from the Next in Line program, and that's where they got her from, okay? Um, in the ring, she was okay. She's not a bad wrestler. She obviously needs more time in the ring and needs to be a better wrestler. When they came out and they just had JC James music playing with Jasmine Nick's name under it, and they just looked like a weak ass version of Toxic Attraction, and I wasn't here for it. And I don't care what nobody say. Okay, it's weird. It's a weird shift with JC Jane and Thea Hale. I feel like they could have played that story out just a little bit better, where we could have saw Jasmine weaseling her way in between JC and Thea, which to me would make more sense. But this is very abrupt. You go from JC Jane working to save Chase U, which if she hated Chase U as much as she pretends that she does, or as much as she's been acting like she does, then she wouldn't have done anything to save the school. She would have left it alone. But I guess, given the circumstances, she wanted the glory of being able to say, I'm the one who saved Chase U, right? Fair. Okay. But at the same time, it's like you go from being Chase U's savior to wanting to wishing on their downfall. And I'm like, where they do that at, bitch? Because you was right there when they was finna be down in the dumps. You was right there when they was at the bottom. Why didn't you let them stay in the dumpster where you found them? I'm like, girl, you worked all that hard. You worked hard to put them back up on the pedestal just so you could knock them back down. Was you mad that you wasn't the one that knocked them down, bitch? What is going on? I'm like, if you're gonna tell a story, cover up the loose ends. You know what I'm saying? Put some band-aids on them holes so that the story makes sense. Cause JC acting like this don't make no sense. Now, y'all know JC done turned on Thea, basically calling her a loser and Chase U losers, treating Thea like she a rotten head stepchild. When in all actuality, without Thea Hale, nobody would be giving a fuck about JC Jane right now. You can say whatever you want to in the comments. Don't care. That is the truth. When's the last time you actually was rooting for JC Jane or cared about what JC Jane was doing since her and Toxic Attraction broke up and her and Gigi had their little spat? Nobody was caring about JC until she started hooking up with Thea Hill, changing the girl to make her look like her little gothic baby sister, which nobody gave a damn about none of that shit. It didn't look real, it didn't feel authentic, so nobody cared. Okay, now all of a sudden, because you done did what you did for Chase U, and now you got Jasmine Nix taking her bloated blubber lips and blowing smoke up your ass. Now all of a sudden, you need to be at the top, and Thea's beneath you. Girl, first of all, between you and your raggedy ass lipstick and eyeshadow, and your needless, your constant bad attempts of matching your skin tone with your foundation, you're reckless as hell for me. Okay, I can't stand the bitch who believes that they are the creme de la creme when you look like the bottom of my shoe. There's no way I'm going to be popping for no bitch like none. Cause you had Thea out here looking like a biker chick's daughter, and you was looking like her ignorant fairy godmother. Craziness. When you could have just been encouraging Thea to be herself and let her do her. You did everything in your power to dumb down her light so that you can get your shine. Beware of bitches like that, because them bitches really exist. Now you see how quick JC Jane turned on Thea, made her feel bad about herself, was tearing her down. That's because she a succubus. I'm telling you the truth. It's life lessons in this. You feel me? When you get to be friends with people, right? And you come across bitches and niggas, excuse me, men's and women's, as my grandma would say. Right. When you come across men and women who are have an incessant need of always tearing you down, always finding things about you that they want you to change, how you look, how you talk, everything. When that shit starts to happen, there's a problem. You feel me? Now, I'm not talking about your friends who are concerned with you, who are telling you like you need to go seek professional help. There's something going on. When a friend sees something is wrong with your way you've been talking, like especially when it's a danger to you, when a friend is like, listen, you haven't been yourself lately, you look like you're down on yourself, you look like you haven't been really getting yourself together, what's going on, friend? Talk to me. That's different. I'm talking about the toxic men and women who come into your life. They supposed to be your friend, but no, it don't matter what you tell them, they never happy about it. They always find something to talk about you about, or they talking to you about other people who've been talking to you, who've been talking about you. Them type of people are succubus. They don't really like you. They don't really want to be your friend. They want to take away the best thing about you, which is your personality, your life force. They trying to tear you down so they can build themselves up. I know a weak bitch when I see one. And JC Jane is a weak bitch because she ain't never been able to stand on her own by herself. And every time she takes out somebody, every time she does something on her own, she ends up right back to finding somebody else to be close to. Why? I thought you was Queen Bee. You feel what I'm saying? Beware of a bitch like that. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Beware. Maybe she wanted the dumpster to stay a single house. She didn't want to make the dumpster a duplex. It'll raise rent. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, Tirza went to the signing for Becky Lynch. So did Kayla today. I heard that line was craziness. I saw on Twitter Queen PR went to go see Becky Lynch as well, and that line was wrapped around the corner. Becky was there signing books and talking to people. That's craziness. But I'm glad that some of my people was able to go to her book signing and enjoy it and have a good time. Her book did come out today. I got it on Audible, so I'm gonna listen to it on Audible. I encourage y'all to get it in whatever form of media you need to get it in, whether it be hardcover, paperback, or you need it in Audible. Do either one, because some people don't really like reading, but you can listen to it like a podcast. But anyways, Thea Hill had a match with Jasmine Nix. Now, Jasmine and Thea was wrestling. Thea had her ass in the beginning, but Jasmine got a little bit of a drop on Thea, and then she soccer kicked her in the face, which I thought was interesting. I was like, okay, we punting people now. We doing the Randy Orton. All right. Anyway, because that's her bread and butter. That's where she come from. She's a soccer player by nature. Okay. Now, after that, Thea was Jasmine was being tended to by the ref. Thea went over to because JC had got rid of all of Chase U by trying to cheat. Because Andre carries around that red towel. You know what I'm saying? And that towel is, for them to throw in the towel when they done. You know what I'm saying? So when they threw the towel in, Riley caught it to protect Thea in the match because JC was trying to cheat so the girl would lose. So the ref saw them get in the ring and grab the towel and everything. And he was like, hell no, y'all is in my way. Y'all is interfering in this match. Chase you got to go. So Chase you got thrown out, but JC Jane got to stay. Hold on, y'all. I'll be back.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't desired. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it.
If I ever heard one, and I'm still here outside, front line, south side. I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me.
Rolling 80 wheels into the city. Riding on the gotta roll over T, gotta give her release. Spread your legs downtown, so I'm going up the heat. Hit the raw sounds when the rock up in your city. I'ma roll on the forever, let her roll on me. Split this one down the middle, wake up in harmony.
A claps. Don't close your eyes to get away. Just take my line and I'll arrange it.
apartment, put you inside a G-Class. That's just a starter kit. Plenty things count in life, but none of them is the thought of it. New piece around my neck, this chess games. But shorty stay with calculated moves like Beth Harmon. Swear I'm more purple rain prince than Prince Charming. Disappointment, I stay expecting it. The pessimist, gold medalists, flush the magnums just so they not collecting my specimens down.
A claps.
Okay, y'all, I'm back. So once I get done with NXT, I will talk to y'all about Becla and all that good stuff. Okay? All right. So talk about JC. JC got Chase U thrown out. She then got on the apron to cause a distraction once the ref was tending to Jasmine Nix. So she says, Thea says to her, I thought you were my friend, JC. JC Jane goes, you were never my friend, Thea, and then slaps her in the face. So that's when Jasmine Nix magically recovers and then tries to get the pin on a roll up, but she doesn't get it because Thea kicks out, and then Thea puts on that lock that the boys over at the No Catch Quarter crew taught her how to use, and she ends up tapping out like the little bitch that she is. Then JC Jane decided to come in and attack her because, of course, but she didn't get the drop on her like she thought she did because Thea Hill started whipping her ass. And that's when fuck ass Kiana and that cat face lady bitch come out there running to help, and they all beating her up. Meanwhile, Jasmine ain't got up, ain't moved or nothing. She made it look like she broke poor Jasmine's arm, which that shit was satisfying as fuck. And if I find the clip, I'm posting it on Instagram because it was worthy of being reposted. Because I can't stand a raggedy bitch who can't stand on their own, and all they care about is, ooh, we're gonna make fun of no, no, no. Nah, we ain't doing that. Y'all gonna learn how to respect people today, especially somebody like Thea. Thea don't bother nobody. Okay. Thea just living her best life, okay, and worthy of being one of Chase U's promising students. Okay. She ain't trying to hurt nobody. Lil Jasmine ass ain't had nothing going for her, so she latched herself on to JC, which in my opinion was one of the worst moves that you could have ever done. In my humble opinion, and y'all know I don't give a damn about fuck ass Kiana. If I were Jasmine and I was trying to get somewhere, the first person that I would latch myself onto would most definitely be fuck ass Kiana. Okay? Brought in her stable, and you could have been just a stupid assistant bitch to them two dumb broads, because that's where your place is. That's where you belong. But of course, she decides that JC is her best bet. Cool. Whatever. I mean, from one dick sucker to another. Live your best life. Okay? Anyways, as they out there beating up Thea, she's instructing Kiana and them to hold the girl so she can beat her up, which was odd to me. I'm like, Kiana, I thought you was a boss bitch. I ain't never seen a boss bitch taking orders from another bitch. Girl. Okay, girl. That is so low. It's so beneath the standards of what you stand for, love. Anyways, that's when Fallon and Kaylani came out there and even the odds, and the girls was in there fighting. Okay, now they ended up throwing them out the ring and getting rid of them, and they ended up, licking their wounds and running to the back. So hopefully we'll get a 6-woman tag team match either at Stand and Deliver, which is in a week or so, or it'll be next week that we'll get that matchup. But either way, the girls was in there fighting. Okay. And it was a good setup too. It was cute. All right. So let me get to the next one. Let's talk about the next match we saw, because what was interesting is that they had Ilya and the Underbosses match at the top of the hour, which was around 9 o'clock. Is when they decided to have Ilya and the Underboss match stacks, and I was just like, is it almost 9:30? Like, is it 9:40? What's happening? I looked and the show was half over. It was not completely over. So I was like, why is he wrestling him in the middle of the show? He's a champion. Like, what is going on? Child. They had a match, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get to see it. By the time I came back to their match, um, Ilya had won, and he was being invited to a sit down dinner with the Don next week by Luca. What's his name? Luca Crucifino, something like that. By that lawyer guy, Luca. I think that's his name, or Lucia, whatever the hell his name is. Chia Pet something. Anyway, the lawyer I told y'all should have joined the group, and they ended up doing it later on. They be stealing my shit. Anyways, um, yeah, they had them come in there, and he invited him to a sit down dinner. This is after he beat Stacks, and it was a pretty hard fought match from what I understand. But I didn't get to see the whole match, so I can't give you any tea on that one. Now, what I said earlier about Dijak showing up later on in the show is because Briggs had a match with Duke Hudson. Two big, meaty men slapping meat, in the words of Big E, in the middle of the ring. It was a big man fest style match, but it was a really good match. It wasn't a hard fought. It was a hard fought battle actually for both of them. It was not an easy win for Briggs, but Briggs was making sure Dijak was paying attention to him in this match. Now, after the match was over, Dijak got in the ring, and the two men was jostling back and forth, jaw jacking and shit. And that's when Oba Femi's music hits. Excuse me. He's standing up over on that big stage like podium over on the side of the NXT set. And he gets the microphone and he tells them, y'all don't have to worry about proving nothing. Basically, what he says is it's going to be a triple threat match at Stand and Deliver. It's going to be me versus you for my NXT North American Championship. And that's where he left it. He don't feel like dealing with neither one of them. So he like, I'm going to knock both of these hoes out in one hit. I don't know. I feel like Dijak is finally gonna get his moment and get this damn title, because Dijak done been in what, 3 versions of NXT now? Yeah. He was a part of NXT Black and Gold. He was a part of NXT 2.0, and now he's a part of this version of NXT. I like to call him NXT Gold. You know what I'm saying? So NXT Gold is where Dijak probably will finally be able to be champion, because around the time that he was about to be North American champion, he lost that opportunity to who? None other than Keith Lee. Okay, because Keith Lee and him had a hard fought battle where they was fighting for a while, and he ended up not beating Keith. He lost that battle with Keith Lee. So now I think it's the time to pull the trigger on Dijak, since they got him in the match with Oba. Pull the trigger on Dijak, move Oba from the North American Championship into part of the title scene, and let him qualify for that and see where that goes. You got Trick Williams that'll still be there. Let Trick Williams get that championship at one point, move it forward. Really give us something to sink our teeth into when it comes to that title scene. Make it worthwhile, because you got so much talent in NXT with Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Nathan Frazier is amazing in the ring. Every week he gets better and better on that microphone. You have great superstars in Idris and Malik. I don't know what they plan on doing with them, but they ain't doing much. Okay. And I feel like you could have utilized Idris and Malik better as a tag team. They need to. In the women's division, you got a lot to work with. You've got Sol Ruka, you got Blair Davenport, you got Kiana, you've got Kaylani, you've got Fallon. Okay. You've got Thea Hale there. You have some of the new girls with Ren Sinclair, Carmen Petrovich. You got Jada Parker back there. You got Lash and Jakara. So many talented people on this roster. It's not missed on us that you can use these people better than what you've been using it. Sean is doing a good job at moving those pieces around, but I need him to utilize that women's division just a little bit better. I need some feuds that's outside of the title that will possibly put them in title contention. I need Roxanne's ass to stay as far away from that championship as possible. But I'm finna get on Roxanne and Lyra in a second. Okay, heard on. Heard on. So let me see my last chord. Let's talk about Ridge Holland first. Ridge Holland came in the ring, and he basically told everybody that he was taking a break indefinitely from in-ring competition. He said due to for his mental health and for the health and safety of everybody else, including his colleagues, he feels that it is best for him to take a break from wrestling. Now, at first, this crowd in NXT was very insensitive to what this man was trying to say. They weren't listening. They was doing what they normally do, howling and screaming. They clapping when he said he's getting ready to leave. It was very disrespectful. But when he got ready to leave, they actually realized that what he was saying was he's not going to be around. He's not wrestling anymore. He's leaving because mentally he's not in a right place to be able to do it. So he's leaving. Um, Rhea Holland gonna pop back up and be a part of Sean Spears and them little shit, whatever the hell they got going on. I'm telling you right now, it's coming. Okay. But the crowd basically said thank you, Ridge, as he was leaving, and he, put the mic down in the middle of the ring and he walked out. The commentators did not say nothing. They didn't speak nothing on Ridge Holland, which is weird because usually don't no matter what they see in the ring, they would have something to say about it, right? There was no response to Ridge Holland saying he was leaving from the commentators at all. They went on ahead and cut to the next segment. Next thing you know, they was talking about the next match that was getting ready to come up. And I believe that was when they showed Lola Vice and was like, Lola's getting ready to have open challenge match. And I was just like, they didn't have nothing to say about Ridge Holland talking about leaving and not coming back. Like, y'all could have said something. They did not say nothing. It was radio silence. The whole time he spoke, the whole time he was out there, then after he left, there was nothing. So I just thought that was very odd. It's very weird to me. But anyways, what else did I miss some things? Did I get them all? Okay, so let's talk about the vignettes. Let's talk about Trick and Carmelo. They called it prime time. Did they call it prime time? Something like that. It's prime time. Prime time, and it was Trick versus Carmelo. They started off with Trick and, explaining, pretty much giving you the backstory of Trick and Carmelo and how they got to where they are. You had people commenting like Randy Orton. You had people like CM Punk, um, Cody Rhodes, who else commented? It was a couple other people, right? Booker T was talking on Trick's behalf. He was talking. There was a bunch of people who were invested in this enough to have a conversation about it. And I think it was more so on the basis of friendship and betrayal, and all of them having experienced that at one point in their careers, whether it be kayfabe or not. They all had a vested interest in the story. Oh, JBL said something, I think, at one point. Like, it was a lot of people who was talking. I thought he did. I could be wrong. But it was a lot of people talking, and they had some people doing voiceover stuff. It was a very interesting recap of Trick and Carmelo's friendship leading down this path of darkness because of either jealousy or just, you not finna outshine me. You not finna get more or get to where I am. I'm the top, you at the bottom. You supposed to be beside me, not in front of me. You know what I'm saying? That was Trick's mentality, their entire friendship. He never saw him as an equal. And I think that is where Trick really realized that he was never Carmelo's friend. He was just the hype man. And if you know the history of a hype man, if you ain't about hip hop and you don't know what that means, yo, every rapper has that sidekick that's always there, that's always waiting in the wings, that's always getting thrown to groupies that he don't want. So when you think about the pairs, I'll put it to you this way. Jay-Z always had Dame Dash. Okay. Um, NWO had who? They had what's his face? Like the ultimate hype man, which was Flavor Flav. Yeah. It wasn't NWO. Was it? It was Public Enemy. I got my rap groups mixed up. It was Public Enemy with Chuck D, right? And what's the his name? I think I think so. I can't remember. I can't remember. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. Every rapper has their sidekick. Every big guy, or at least back in the day, especially in the groups, there was always the irrelevant one in the group. And it was the front man. So with the Jackson 5, it was Michael Jackson, and then you had everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else followed suit, and Michael Jackson was the star. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson had the talent. Michael Jackson could sing, he could dance, he could write, he could produce. Michael Jackson was the guy, you know? Tito, Jermaine, and them, they had talent, but they wasn't Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, unfortunately for Trick, as talented as he is and as great as he will be, Carmelo Hayes wasn't about that lifestyle. He wasn't about to let no subordinate come up against him and then take him and then be popular better than him. He gonna be at the top of the mountain? Nah, they ain't happening. So essentially, what we saw was different superstars and everybody who's invested in the story per WWE, really give their talking point on this particular story between Trick and Carmelo. Because right now, this is the best thing going in NXT outside of Roxanne and Lyra Valkyria. Okay. We saw it on Trick's side, and then we saw it on Carmelo's side. Carmelo had to be in the ring like he was on Marion and you got served, trying to remember how to dance and shit. Standing in the rain, squatting down with rain dripping off his face. I hope he ain't getting pneumonia, bitch, trying to be all extra. What we saw from Trick was the training montage, the Philly style, right? We saw the Philly style training montage. We saw people from his camp, his boxing coach, former NFL people he was rolling with. You know what I'm saying? We saw how he was preparing himself for the battle because he knows that Carmelo's going to do everything in his power to take him out. Whereas Carmelo just resting on the fact that he just good at what he does. He not thinking about the fact that Trick Williams is coming with all his guns blazing. You feel me? So they scheduled it for next week that the two men will come face to face. And I will assume that Ava's going to do something to protect this particular match, especially with it being touted as the main event of Stand and Deliver. She's got to keep them apart, because if she don't, this is going to implode into a bunch of mess between these two dudes. All right. And let's talk about the other vignette. The vignette with Lyra and Roxanne. Roxanne was watching an old vignette of herself talking about coming to NXT, becoming NXT champion, being NXT women's tag team champion, and her just being the happy-go-lucky version of herself. She said, "Oh my God, it was so naive of me. This video disgusts me. I'm so happy now because I'm doing it my way. Nobody can tell me that they took it from me. I don't have to worry about that. I got my what I wanted. I'm going to NXT, Stand and Deliver, and I'm gonna get my title back. And I don't like Lyra. I don't have any feelings for Lyra. She's just in my way. She's just somebody holding a title, and I'm going to get that from her." Well, she's not really holding it. So I'm just like, girl, so let me get this straight. It was not too long ago. What was it? 2 years ago? Your ass was yelling at Cora, calling her all types of names. And it's not even me taking up for Cora. It's the hypocrisy for me. You was going at Cora for doing the same fucking shit that your ass is doing right now. Your only difference in the way you two are behaving is because Cora was doing it with no title taken from her. You ended up losing your championship. Let me make it very clear. You lost the title because you could not perform as champion physically. Mentally, they were worried because after one match, your punk ass collapsed like it was about to die. And to be fair, a lot of people was defending it. Then you came back. What did you do? They put your ass in the match and Stand and Deliver in the ladder match. You had an opportunity to get the title back then. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. Why? Because you was too busy laid out on the side of the damn ring. Let's call a spade a spade. You had that. You had multiple shots at going after that NXT Women's Championship. Not only that, but you ended up winning an opportunity to go after that NXT Women's Championship. Okay. Then when Lola involved herself in your match, and to be fair, that's something that you could be mad about. You finally get the one-on-one shot against Lyra. Lola takes it from her. But instead of focusing on the bitch who stole your moment from you and your opportunity, you blame Ava. You blame everybody else. It's all Lyra's fault. She's been ducking and dodging me. How? When you had the match was set up for you, babe. How was she ducking and dodging you? In what capacity, girl? In what freaking capacity? No. Then you're sitting there and you're cheesing, you're having a good time because you feel like the ball's in your court. You've won. Now, I'll tell you this. It'll be strange fruit if your ass win that championship at Stand and Deliver. Because I can promise you that whenever fuck ass Cora's ass come back, she gonna be the one to take that title from you. And you're gonna be right back where you started. Now, if I was booking it, I would make all this bullshit you doing be for nothing. I most definitely would. I would make Lyra go over on you clean so you have nothing to bitch and complain about. And then what? You gonna start punching people in the back too because you can't have your way? Now Lyra Valkyria did her vignette and she said made it very plain. She said, I was able to beat my hero for the title and become champion. I did it the right way. I didn't complain when things didn't go my way. I didn't go in the back and punch people in the face because I wasn't getting what I wanted or what I felt like I deserved. I kept pushing and I kept moving. And when it came to be my time, I got what I deserved. So let's go down memory lane, shall we? Because Lyra got injured in her match against Tiffany Stratton, and Lyra ended up losing despite her fighting Tiffany Stratton tooth and nail to get that title. She ended up losing, and Tiffany became the champion. I didn't see Lyra punching at people, crying and complaining and screaming. No, Lyra recovered, got her shit together, and worked her way back up to the top to get that damn championship. All I'm saying is, if the roles was reversed, everybody would be on Lyra's ass and saying she's a liar and she crazy. But because it's Roxanne has legitimacy. No, she don't. No, she don't. Her issue is not that she's not. It's her issue is that she's not getting what she wants. I can't even get this. I'm never getting that. I was so naive. No, you wasn't. Well, I said at the beginning when you first got there, yeah, you were. You were very naive. But right now, this don't make you no more sane. And in fact, it makes you even more crazy because you keep reliving bullshit. In fact, what's the definition of insanity? Doing something over and over again and expecting a different result. How you gonna keep acting like everybody owe you something? They don't owe you nothing, babe. They gave you what you wanted. They gave you a rematch. It's not their fault Lola cashed in on it. Lola was the NXT Women's Breakout Champion. That contract guarantees her a title shot whenever she wants to use it. She does not have to wait until you're done with your match to do that. You chose to be respectful with your title shot. That's your fucking business. That was not the same for Lola, okay? Seriously said Corey put the battery in that bitch back and now we think she doing something. It's wild. It's wild to me. Cause like I said, I could understand it better if she was directing her anger at Lola. Then I could be like, yeah, whoop her ass because she took something from you. But you ain't owed nothing. You don't deserve nothing and you don't get nothing. Everybody else in the damn locker room deserve a title shot more than you. If we being fair, how many times have you been in the title scene? Your own homegirl Cora ain't been in the title scene as much as your ass done been in it. And you want to talk about how Carmen, how the other girls are now the Golden Girls and Lyra is at the top of the mountain. You somewhere laid out on the stretcher with oxygen on your face because you couldn't breathe and was having a whole anxiety attack from wrestling Miko. That is not their fault. That's not their fault. And you can't be sitting up holding grudges and mad and pissed off because you can't get your way. Children do that. It's childish. And I ain't repping for that shit. I ain't here for that. You gonna have to change your shit up, boo. I don't know what it is, but it's real odd to me that you are behaving in this manner when you don't have no real, true, legitimate reason to do it. You have none. But anyways, Lyra just straight up was like, where our paths differ is when the chips get down and how we perform. You chose to act like a child, run around, stump your feet, kick and scream, punch people 24/7 until you got your way. And she was like, and that's going to also be your downfall. Because she was like, I'm going to make sure of it. So Lyra and, I believe it's Lyra and Roxanne are supposed to meet face to face as well next week. So we're going to see how that play out. Now, the last part, little bit of NXT has to do with the tag team championships. This was Alpha Academy was doing their best to qualify. They can't qualify in the triple threat match next week. So they decided, they talked to Ava and they was like, well, if you beat the tag team champs, the match will be turned into a triple threat. Okay. So at first, Alpha Academy was doing pretty good against Braun and Baron. But Braun and Baron are pretty much the odd couples type of tag team. They work very well together. Two men who have this power like style of wrestling. It's almost unstoppable. And then you have the ragtag team of Alpha Academy with Akira. It just doesn't work. I feel like if Chad was there, there would have been a little bit more it would have been a little bit more, to Alpha Academy. It's no shade to Akira. He did exceptionally well against Braun and Baron, but him being up against Braun was a severe mismatch, and it don't matter how fast he is, it don't matter how strong Akira can be. He just wasn't fast or strong enough to beat Braun Breaker. He just wasn't. So these two ended up winning, so Alpha Academy will not be added to the match. But the tag teams from the triple threat all came out there, and all three teams was fighting until the show went off. Now, after I saw that, I said, fuck it. Turn it into a fatal four-way at Stand and Deliver. Give us something else to watch, because I'm telling you right now, if Gallows and Anderson win in that tag team match next week, oh yeah, it's definitely going to be Gallows and Anderson who win the tag team titles at Stand and Deliver. Quite frankly, I would want them to do something better than what WWE is doing on the main roster side, because you are wasting Axiom, Nathan Frazier, LWO, when you got two big men teams and two high flyer style teams with LWO and Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Like, come on, put them all in the match, bro. Because I have a feeling next week what's going to happen is Braun and Baron are going to come in there and destroy the match completely. And that's when Ava's going to turn it into a fatal four-way. And if she don't, she definitely should. Because it would be light years better than watching Gallows and Anderson go up against Braun and Baron. To be honest, I just don't want to see that. Even though it probably would be a good match between the two teams, I feel like to rival what the main roster is doing, you're going to have to up the ante here. You're going to have to up the ante. But other than that, y'all, that's all we got. Tomorrow, when I go live, we are going to have a little conversation about WrestleMania. It's not going to be anything crazy or outlandish, but I am going to pose a question that I want y'all to think about, and I'm going to show y'all that question right before I get off. So now I can talk about Becca and her signing for her book. So Tirza and Kayla went and they met each other. So I thought that was so cool that they got to meet. Kayla said it was awesome at the book signing. Tirza said that Becky was lovely. She's gorgeous, and she told me that she loved my name and she loved her makeup, and she said she smelled good. Love that. Kayla said she was reading her book at work before she clocked in, during her break, and after she clocked out. She said, I don't give a fuck if my coworkers judge me. Girl, ain't nobody judging you from reading no book, child. As many times your coworker probably in there reading a book they ain't got no business. 99% of the time it's something they got from Wattpad or something. They can't judge you for no book, girl. We don't care about that. Tirza said, I also told her she better whoop Rhea's ass at Mania, though, mentioning her daughter, and she had guaranteed me she is going to, period. And Kayla said she showed her a photo of her meeting her in 2018 during Evolution Weekend. And she said, what a glow up that we aged like fine wine. And I was like, oh my God. And we hugged. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, her tears and took a picture. That's so cute. I love that. She said, so they was talking about the stuff I was talking about NC. So I'm glad that everybody had a good time seeing Becky. And Becky, from what Tirza tells me, Becky is really nice. She's very sweet, down to earth. It's just like talking to one of your homegirls when you go to meet her, which that just goes to show you that you could be a decent person and still be famous. And I haven't heard one bad thing about Becky in the locker room, from former WWE talent to current talent. So everybody else's assumption of her or how they speak of her, I am not surprised by any of that at all. And I'm just very happy that my homegirls, Kayla and Tirza, were able to have a very good time at Becky's book signing. I'm very, very happy for you. Oh, cool. Love that. So tomorrow when I go live for Freestyle Wednesday, I'm going to change the background now because I'm going to go to bed because I have a doctor's appointment in the morning. Okay. So tomorrow when I go live, we're going to talk about Mania and we're going to talk about this topic. Okay. Says WrestleMania lacking in the women's department, and are they doing enough? It's a two-part question. You guys got plenty of time to think about a question to add to that or to answer that. I'm going to let people in the live tomorrow so you guys can come in and talk about it all you want. And we'll talk about more things tomorrow as well. And Tirza said there was 400 people there, and she took time to meet everybody. She met 400 people. 400 people.
That's crazy.
And that's not the only place. Like New York was like, I think New York was her first stop.
Wild.
And then she still gotta go wrestle. She still gotta wrestle at the house shows and shit.
What's the other time?
That's fucking nuts.
Insane.
400 people.
Jesus.
And you met all of them? Jesus. Kudos, Becky. Okay? Because I'm dead serious. That could never be me. 400 people. My ass cheeks is hurting. You gonna have to move these people along. Give me 3 of them at the same time. Hey, 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 how you doing? Yes, I love you too. Thank you so much for coming. Girl, I appreciate you. Your hair is cute. Okay, I got 500 more people to meet. So let's get in the middle and take these pictures together. Bam, one picture with you. Bam, picture with you. Okay, bam, I'm in the back. Peace. All right, good, good. Get on out of here. Go and tell your cousins and them that you met me. Love you. Appreciate you. Come on, Sally and Ken. Come on, get your ass in here. Let's take these damn pictures. Ain't got all day. Come on. Oh, oh, okay, great, great, great. I will be shuffling people out. That's crazy. That's nutso for me. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, also the podcast is going to be recording this week. Um, I told my dad before they announced it that we couldn't wait because it's Becky and it's NYC. And to quote Nicole, I was right and I love being right. Yeah, Nicole, she loved being right, child. And we love that for her. Love that for her. So I'm recording the podcast this week, and we're gonna have all of the folk on the podcast this week. Everybody's coming in because I have to take. Alexis is making me take a break, but I'm still gonna be there. I'm just not gonna be fully interacting the way I would normally do, but I'm gonna be there on the podcast this week. She's making me take a break. I'm okay though. I am fine. Everybody relax. I'm okay. But I also have to do my own podcast this week, so I'm trying to get that up. So Pop Culture Wednesday might be late this week, but Am I the Asshole Friday is gonna be on time. So y'all don't worry, all that stuff is coming out like it's supposed to, and Down for the Count stuff is probably gonna be out on Saturday or Friday due to the fact that we're recording on Thursday this week. Okay, so y'all make sure that y'all go and follow my podcast, go listen to it, like it. Please do that because it really helps the algorithm push up the podcast and more people will listen to it if they hear about it. I'm getting ready to do the review for Quiet on the Set after I come back from the doctor's tomorrow, and then I will work on the Freaknik documentary to post on the podcast. And of course, we're going to cover everything. And y'all know what's going on in the news. Diddy is everywhere right now. So I have to do some of the pod on Pop Culture Wednesday about Diddy. And of course, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay. So y'all sit tight. If you follow my Pop Culture Wednesday podcast and if you know, you know. Okay. Now, if you want to do listen to the Down for the Count pod, there's plenty of stuff up there. I'm getting ready to start the storyline recap this week for SmackDown. I mean, for WrestleMania and for Stand and Deliver, since I've got about 2 or 3 podcasts to do because of that, I'm going to be making sure I get all my bases covered, writing down all of the matches for the match card, and we're going to have all that stuff done, and you'll be able to listen to my creative storytelling of each storyline for WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver, okay? It's going to be a fun time. Now, like I showed y'all earlier, okay, let me take the banners off right quick. Tomorrow's episode of Freestyle Wednesday is going to feature this question, and it says, is WrestleMania lacking in the women's department? Are they doing enough? Okay. So make sure you thoroughly think about this question and tell me what you think. Tomorrow, when we get started, I'm going to let people in the live and they can tell it on live instead of typing it in the comments. But for those of you who want to stay in the comments and you just like listening, we're going to be discussing this tomorrow. And if does WWE need to do more for the women's division in terms of Mania and the match card? Is there more that they could do? What could they have done differently? Those are all the type of questions that we're asking. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. I think I'm going to live tomorrow around 9, and we'll talk all about WrestleMania and everything in between. Okay? I will see y'all then. I love y'all. Make sure, make sure. Bye.